Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special comparison figure showcase we're going to be looking at the Autobot clones from the original Generation 1 series of toys and the Autobot clones that were later released quite recently in honesty under the Generations line. What we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look at the differences between them and hopefully see how they've managed to improve the toy line over the years, and of course I'll point out a few things that you need to be aware of. This video is especially for one of my subscribers, guzzihero. Fantastic idea. I hope that I'm able to give you all the answers that you require, and I hope you enjoy the video. So as I've already mentioned, in the middle we've got the two original Generation 1 figures, and on either side of them we have the new Generations lines. And one quick difference before we start, and that is the fact that Fast Lane, the car, is now called Fast Clash. But however, the Jet Cloud Raker still has his same name. One other thing I want to point out, and I think that Hasbro were a bit naughty, and I'm sure most people agree with this, and that's because unlike when they first released the Generation 1 figure in a 2-pack, like that there, with regards to the Generations releases of the figures, they released them completely separately, and one of them was a special edition box set which was quite hard to get hold of as well, and that was Fast Clash. He was released as part of the Chaos on Velocitron box set under the Titans Return wave of Generations toys, and then they released Cloud Raker with a Decepticon wingspan in a twin pack. So they were quite naughty with that in my opinion, so they were even harder to get hold of. But if we have a look at them now, you can see already that there's a difference in the fact that these are smaller than the original Generation 1s. You can tell instantly just by looking at them though that there's more articulation. So with the Generation 1, these only moved at the shoulders there. There was no other movement at the elbows or at the legs, anything like that. Whereas if I take one of the new Generations one, we've got movement at the elbow or bicep, whatever it's called. Depends which way you're looking at it. The shoulders as well. The legs pivot and twist just below the hips. You can turn the legs out. So there's quite a bit more articulation. Even though the figure's a bit smaller, there is a bit more articulation. And then from the front, there doesn't look like there's too much difference. What we've got here is there's two rub, well, on the original, shall we say, let's start with the original. There's two rub signs, and the two rub signs, one at the bottom deciphered which faction they were, so you knew they were Autobots, and the other one deciphered whether it was the jet or the car. It's a bit cold in my room, so that's not working unfortunately, whereas with these it is working. So you've got just a normal Autobot sticker at the bottom, and then you've got the heat sensitive one working above. So there's your picture of your car with this. The purpose of these figures were the fact that the two robots were supposed to be exactly the same, hence them being called clones. And in honesty, it does work really, but with the Autobots, they're not as convincing as the Decepticons, because as you can see, the car mode, so make sure I can call him by both their names, so Fast Lane and Fast Clash, you can see even more actually in the Generations one. You can see the tyres as well as the spoiler, whereas with the original Generation 1 one, you could only see a bit at the top of the spoiler, whereas the Decepticon ones, they pretty much do look identical. So that's a teeny negative if I wanted to be super pedantic and picky about them. I'm going to spin them round and let's see if it's the same. Yeah, I can take the back of the spoiler off, so obviously be aware of that if you're looking for all the accessories. I'm not sure if these had any guns, to be honest. I don't think they have. I haven't seen pictures with them, but I could have left it in the box set, so I apologise if I've got that wrong straight away. On the back of Cloud Raker, that's not going to stand. The wings are all tucked in at the side this time, whereas on the Generation 1 they were tucked up all on the back of the leg. What I'm going to do now, rather than do it on camera, and that's not going to fib either, I've never transformed these either, so I want to make sure I get it right and I don't want to damage them, especially while I'm filming, and of course it keeps the length of the video down. I'm just going to transform them and I'll come straight back to you to look at them on their alternate modes. Okay then, and I've transformed them into their alternate modes, and to be honest I probably could have done it on camera. It was very simple, but again, just to keep the time of the video length down, that's the main reason why I don't. So here we go, Fast Lane and Fast Clash. Again, the Generation 1 figure is much bigger, it's probably about an inch or so bigger, and there's not much more difference in that at all, apart from they've added some wheels at the front of this one, so I suppose that makes it a little bit more believable. Literally the hands are just folded up inside there, and the arms folded to the front, and his head spun around, and then you folded up the feet. So there is the alternate mode. It looks okay, as I say, looks kind of impressive. It's nothing to write home about, but it does the job which you want it to. The jet mode for Cloud Raker, that was a bit more tricky transformation in honesty, but again this one is much smaller, and they've just made it more compact. You can see obviously you've got the legs there on the original Generation 1 one, and the wings flying out from the back, whereas with this they've folded the legs up and around the top of the torso and just folded the small legs out at the back. This one, I think, to be honest, looks more impressive. This is a much better update than the other one. It does obviously look much more like a jet, and it is more compact, so I do prefer this over Fast Clash in honesty. But there we have, as I say, both of the Autobot clones. They were, I've already mentioned, a bit naughty, the fact that they released them independently, but there they both are. Again, this is especially for you, guzzihero. I hope I was able to answer any questions that you had regarding these, and anybody else who enjoyed looking at it and watching it as well. Obviously hoped you liked that. It might have brought back some nice memories for the people who had the originals, and it might have actually, of course, educated a few of the maybe my younger viewers who've not seen the originals. So yeah, it's brilliant. I love doing these comparison videos for exactly that reason. People my age and a bit older obviously will remember the originals, and we might not have even seen the new ones, and vice versa for the younger generation and the Generations lines. But there we are again. Here are Autobot clones, Generations and original Generation 1 releases. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, guys.